Hi everyone. Today I want to talk about something a little bit different. Something about loneliness and friendships. This conversation came up a little while ago, and it was brought to my attention that my perspective is a little bit different than most people's because of my childhood. Yes, I am all bundled up in a million layers because it's like 57 degrees out and it's all rainy and cold. But I'm hiding out in the trailer because I got some work to do in here and it's nice and quiet. And then I remembered that I wanted to make this video. So, most people, I guess, have an inner circle of their close family friends, close family and friends, and these are the folk that you grew up with, and they've been with you for the past, I don't know, 20, 30 years or more, or ever since you were kids. You guys grew up together and all that, and then something happens and you lose touch or whatever, and then you find out that they're not friends, and then you get all brokenhearted about it and feel betrayed, and it's this huge thing, and then you feel lonely because or you don't have an inner circle and then you feel lonely, or something like that, and then some people get just so lonely and so caught up that nobody loves them or whatever, that they'll commit suicide. And I don't know. It's stories like the bullies. There's bullies at school, and then a kid commits suicide because people said mean things to them, or somebody said something, and then it totally tears a person apart to where they can't even handle the world. And it's a big and serious issue, and something that we got to look at. And my childhood is different in that I had a really tough childhood, but in a way it was kind of good. In a huge way it was good. So let me explain. So with my childhood, we moved around a lot, and the first time I came here to the States was when I was 4 years old, and then we moved around. We lived in Taiwan and Thailand, and traveled around everywhere, just constantly moving around. No, my parents weren't in the military or anything. It was just my stepdad's work and stuff, and other stuff related. But anyways, we moved around a lot, to the point where, like, in high school, I went to 5 different high schools. So then my husband, he's the type that had the close knit family, and he didn't just have one family. He has like 3 whole families, because he had his blood family, and then he has uh close friends that like adopted him as part of their family as well, and he has like several of these. And so his whole thing is totally opposite than mine. I had like nobody, and then he has like tons of people, all around. But my point was, when, because I moved around and stuff, and I didn't have that, so someone like him would look at me and go, "Oh, you poor thing, oh, you poor, you never had that solid rock foundation, and I'm like, no, I'm not poor, because I basically found out that I have friends everywhere. So here is the core of how I feel. I feel that all these people out there, all of these strangers out there, they are all potential best friends that I just haven't met yet. Does that sound weird? It's true, though. Wherever I went to Africa, London, Paris, tons of the Asian countries, Taiwan, Thailand, travel all around, and changed all these schools and everything. And no matter where I went, I could always find helpful people that would take me in. people that became my best friends. And then, yeah, it didn't last for long, but they were each precious when they were there. And that's good enough. They don't have to be around forever and ever and ever. And maybe that is an unrealistic expectation, because then what happens is when I have a friend and they come in and out of my life, it's, to me, that's just the way it goes. It's fine. And but with someone like Andy, it really breaks him up. And I guess the other thing that I realize is, I every person out there is their own individual center of their own universe. And everybody has their own universes. And then people come together for whatever, exchange ideas to help each other out, da 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 da. And then they part ways. And sometimes you guys follow a path for a very, very long time. And if if you do, that's awesome. But if you don't, you can part ways without it being this huge, tragic loss. Even with the journey of life and death, everything is temporary. And people come into our lives for a reason. Sometimes they are bad people, but even bad experiences teach us a lot. A person that treats you like shit and then you experience that, it could be to teach you how to become a stronger person, to not take that, to, you have your choices. You can never control what someone else does, but you control yourself and your universe. And the important thing is to realize that you are the center of your universe. And so if someone says a word to you, if they're bullying you and they're mean to you and stuff, yeah, it cuts. Yeah, it hurts. It's mean, but it doesn't have to completely demolish your universe. They, like one of my friends said, they're just an extra in your play, and you are just an extra in their play. You come together. If it doesn't work out, just part. There's a ton of other people out there. I spent a short amount of time where I was homeless, and amazing people. I would just strangers, other gypsy type people and homeless people, and people on drugs and alcoholics and stuff would turn around and do me favors and good deeds to help me up, and I would do the same for them. And then you realize that sometimes it's those people that have everything perfect on paper, the perfect resume, the perfect degrees and education and speech and money and all this stuff. These people actually may be the people that hurt you the most. And then the person that seems kind of cantankerous and whatever, and all this stuff, they might be the people that actually come and pull you and your kids out of a burning building when push comes to shove. So you never know where these angels will come when push comes to shove. And I guess I lived on that realm of shove. So I've seen that in people. I've seen the ugly side of people, definitely. I have a huge ugly side. And then I've seen the good side. And with each of us, we decide which side we want to nurture. It's like that old saying, everyone has two wolves inside of them. A good wolf and a bad wolf, something like that, and you decide which one you want to feed. But I don't know. To me, it just seems weird, because even though I don't really have any close friends and stuff. It's just, me, my small little tiny family, and that's it. Of course, I've inherited Andy's huge family, so I now have that as well. But for me, when it was just me, I never felt alone because I had so much of my own stuff I needed to deal with, and I had my whole universe. I didn't have friends and permanent friends and stuff in my universe, but in my universe is all the strangers around. And if I wanted to, all I would have to do is to talk to a stranger and meet my new best friend. And so because I knew I had that choice, I guess it was never that drastic to me. And also another thing is, okay, I'm not religious, but I am spiritual because I had, for lack of a better term, I had a near God experience or something where I was really broken down, really, really depressed and angry and raging and all that is, back when I was young, and I was flipping through the Bible, and because I went to Roman Catholic schools and stuff, so I had Bibles and stuff, and I studied all that, but it didn't mean anything to me, and I thought the whole thing was just junk. But I had a Bible, and I was like, well, this God figure is supposed to love me so much. Well, then freaking show it. So I flipped through the Bible and I was angry, and I flipped through and then point and then read that passage because I was basically demanding of God, show me, give me a sign, da 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 da, and all this stuff. And I read it and it didn't mean anything to me. So I do it again and I do it again and I did it again. I kept doing it and it never meant anything to me. And I got frustrated, and that was like my last ditch thing, and I was so frustrated, and I gave up and I just threw everything down and I started sobbing, and I was alone. I was hopeless. I was just completely given up. And then when I took a deep breath and I sighed and I just gave up, all of a sudden I felt it. Okay, it sounds totally corny because it's so cliche, but I felt a light. I didn't see a light, but I just remember how it felt, and I felt love. Pure, pure, pure love. Now, I also felt other stuff. I had attempted suicide a few times and stuff, and I felt the big love, this overwhelming, like bursting out of me love that made me want to sob and cry because I had never felt that before. I didn't even know it existed. And I didn't know where it was coming from, but it didn't matter because that feeling was just so peaceful and so loving. And it was a feeling of, I see you. I know you are there. You are precious. And I love you with everything. And oh my gosh, I'm going to cry now. But every time I remember it, I still remember how powerful this is. And it had to come from somewhere. And it didn't come from me because I was full of anger and fury, and I'd never felt this before, and I've never really felt it since. But I felt that, and then on the flip side, then I also felt this very stern, but all those times when you were like, those stupid little suicide attempts, yeah, stop that. No more. And it was like a very definite, like, no more. And it wasn't like a threat or anything. It was just like, done. No. And, I understood it. But, okay, so you don't have to believe that I had that experience. I know it's totally weird. And I've never had it since, and I'm still not religious, even though I had that experience. But I believe that there is something there. I've had enough near-death experiences where guardian angels maybe are possible. Spirits, things. There's something bigger than us, and that is where religion comes into play. I think in our universes, we have to also remember that there is, and I'm going to call this, just to be totally neutral. I'm going to call this just pure love. There is pure wonder and love out there. And that is what we need to focus on. That is how I pulled myself out of the pit of darkness that I was in and started trying to figure out how to become a better person and how to become the person that I wanted to be. And by doing that, I started following the breadcrumbs of love. So, a wonderful relationship, other people, when people do small acts of kindness, a sunset, a sunrise, a super delicious meal, unexpected flower growing out of a cracked piece of pavement. Just like all these little signs of beauty and love that is so easily missed with all of the crazy negativity and news, all these news stories and politics and stuff that kind of bombards everybody in everyday life, these rules and fast cars and, TV and radio and, and it's not that it's all bad, but, it's just so much. There's just so much just bombarding us all the time that we might miss that cute little spider over there, or when your daughter does something super adorable and cute, or, I don't know, just like there's so many. I just found that when I started focusing and looking for all of these little breadcrumbs, that I go, oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. And I start following all of those. That's how I pulled myself out of the pit of darkness. Okay. And every time I would see something or feel something that was good and awesome, that is what I'd wrap up. I'd take a picture, or, I'd take a moment, and then I'd wrap up these little moments and I start collecting them. And that's what my life goal had been for years. I just go around collecting all of these beautiful moments and then combining them and collaging them into this thing, which then becomes my universe. And so that is how I combat darkness, depression, loneliness, and stuff, because I don't have time to be angry about petty little things, or argue about politics on Facebook or all that stuff, because I'm too busy trying to build my little universe, collecting all of these beautiful moments from everywhere that I can find, in this amazing world that we've been given to explore. That, I think that's what we're here to do. We're here to explore and find out about it, and find out about ourselves, and build our universe, build ourselves, and at the same time help others along too. If I see something beautiful, I want to show you guys, or show, and same with others. And you know what? If more people just focused on doing stuff like that, I think the world would be a nicer place. I don't know. There's just so much junk out there. So anyways, I don't know. I kind of went on a little tangent, and I totally I don't know. I don't know what my point is anymore. I don't know. My point is I want everyone to be happy. And I know what it's like to be angry and depressed, and I know the evils out there, which no, I know. And I'm telling you that it doesn't have to be that way. Everyone controls their own reality and their own universe. When something bad happens, you can seriously look at it as a good thing, which is, you'll see me do this all the time. I'll go, oh, yeah, LaSarah was so bad and stuff. But then I try to change it around and turn it into some way that it was good, or I'll focus on only what's good. And it's hard. It is hard, It's very easy. It's almost like negativity has a magnetism, and it draws you to it, and it's grippy, and and it's so easy to fall into that depression and stuff. I know I battle it every day, but I'm not saying it's easy to battle it. I'm just saying that there is a way to battle it. And the way to battle it is by these little breadcrumbs. And they're so tiny, but you know what? When you put them all together, it creates something magical, and it creates a life of positivity and love. As corny as that sounds, oh my gosh, I can't believe that came out of my mouth. But yeah, it's a good thing. So, okay, let me wrap it up. People need to be kinder to each other, and don't worry about being alone, because you have friends everywhere. Every stranger is a potential friend, potential best friend that you just haven't met yet. So you just have to meet them. There are great people everywhere. Even the ones that first come across as bitchy or rude or mean or stuff, you never know. When push comes to shove, they might be the one that pulls you out of a ditch. The nice fancy ones that are super sweet and they know how to sugarcoat and all that, they might not be the ones that have the time to stop and help you out when you're down, stuff like that. You just never know where a helping hand will come from. And you also can't underestimate yourself. You are strong and awesome in yourself. You have what it takes. Everybody has what it takes to be awesome and to be strong. And you have what it takes to take on any challenge that this world has to dish out to you. I often look at those inspirational people out there, the people that have lost like half their bodies, and then they go right back out and do what they love to do. And I'm like, oh my gosh, those are the things that I do, watch those things. Don't watch all the depressing stuff. Watch the stuff that inspires you and helps pulls you out of the dump. But anyways, okay, so that was my message for today, and I hope that it made sense to anybody, and it wasn't too corny and cheesy. Sorry, that's why I don't talk like this. That's why I should stick to horses or talk about horse stuff, right? Because I suck at this emotional stuff, but I just had to get it out, because it just seemed like too many people were, there's too many negativity out there, and too many people were actually getting, dragged down into it, and I felt bad. All right, so there you go. Hope you have a nice day, and thanks for watching. Please like and comment on my video and let me know what you think. Wait, only if you have something nice to say. But all right, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.